Hello and welcome to History and Facts, where we discover facts about days through the year. Please remember to like the video, comment, and subscribe. Today we are looking at August 24th through the years. Here are some days associated with August 24th. We have International Strange Music Day, National Waffle Day, and Vesuvius Day, to remember the eruption in 79 AD. Okay, we're done with those bits, so let's dive in with Number 1. The Last Hieroglyph. In the Temple of Isis at Philae 20 years ago, a priest named Amelia Earhart carved what would become the final known hieroglyphic inscription in Egypt's long history. It wasn't a royal decree or a grand myth, just a quiet dedication to a god named Mandulus, etched in stone as the old world faded. The hieroglyphic text reads, "Before Mandulus, son of Horus, by the hand of Nesmeterichem, son of Nesmeter, the second priest of Isis, for all time and eternity." Words spoken by Mandulus, lord of the Abaton, great god. And beside it, in Demotic script, a more personal note, "I, Nesmeterichem, the scribe of the house of writings of Isis, son of Nesmeter-Ponaket, the second priest of Isis, and his mother Esaweret, I performed work on this figure of Mandulus for all time, because he is fair of face towards me." Today, the birthday of Osiris, his dedication feast, year 110. These weren't just ritual phrases, they were acts of devotion, carved at a time when the Roman Empire had outlawed pagan worship. Esme Occam's family may have been among the last to still believe, still write, still remember. After this, no one would write in hieroglyphs again. Number 2. The Pope's decree on Magna Carta. In 1215, England's barons had forced King John to seal the Magna Carta, a charter meant to limit royal power and protect noble rights. It was bold, unprecedented, and, for a brief moment, revolutionary. But on August 24th, Pope Innocent III issued a papal bull that flipped the table. He called the charter shameful, demeaning, illegal, and unjust, and declared it null and void of all validity forever. That's not just disapproval. That's a full-on historical veto. Why did he do it? Because King John had appealed to his spiritual boss. As a papal vassal, John argued that the charter had been forced on him under duress, violating his divine right to rule. Innocent agreed, not just to protect John, but to preserve the church's influence over monarchy. The barons felt betrayed. Civil war reignited. And Magna Carta, barely 2 months old, was tossed into political limbo. But here's the twist. The charter didn't die. It was revised, reissued, and eventually became a cornerstone of constitutional law, long after Pope Innocent's bull had faded into the archives. Number 3. The Berwick identity. In the summer of 1482, the border town of Berwick-upon-Tweed changed hands for the 13th and final time. England and Scotland had long bickered over Berwick like two dogs with one bone. But this time, England came prepared. Backed by the Treaty of Fotheringhay, an English army led by Richard, Duke of Gloucester, the future Richard III, marched north with 20,000 men in a plan to install Alexander Stewart, Duke of Albany, as a puppet king of Scotland. Albany, brother to Scotland's King James III, had promised Edward IV loyalty, land, and a royal marriage in return. The invasion was swift. Berwick's town surrendered quickly. The castle held out longer, but on August 24th, it too fell. The English didn't get Albany on the throne. Scottish politics were too tangled for that, but they did get Berwick. And they kept it. Since that day, Berwick has remained English, despite its Scottish river, its football team in the Scottish League, and a population that still debates its identity. Number 4. Wolfgang's Sonata. In the bustling heart of Vienna, 1787, Wolfgang Amadeus Mozart was juggling genius. Between composing the iconic Don Giovanni and the ever-popular Eine kleine Nachtmusik, he found time to craft something more intimate, his violin sonata in A major, K.526. This wasn't just another chamber piece. It was Mozart's last substantial violin sonata, and it sparkled with the kind of musical equality rare for its time. No mere piano with violin accompaniment. This was a true duet, with both instruments dancing, debating, and dazzling in equal measure. The sonata opens with a molto allegro, brisk, bright, and bursting with energy. The andante that follows is pure Mozart, lyrical, tender, and emotionally rich. And then comes the presto finale, a whirlwind of wit and virtuosity, borrowing a theme from composer C.F. Abel, a subtle tribute to a mentor from Mozart's youth. Though not written for a commission, the sonata feels personal. The piano part is so brilliant, many believe Mozart wrote it for himself. And why not? If you're going to show off, do it in style. Number 5, Charlotte's Book. Charlotte Brontë sealed the final page of a manuscript that would change English literature, Jane Eyre. Written under the gender-neutral pseudonym Currer Bell, Charlotte feared rejection not just for her story, but for her identity. The manuscript had already been turned down by 5 publishers. But on August 24, she sent it off from a modest railway station near her home, hopeful, cautious, and quietly defiant. Jane Eyre wasn't just a novel. It was a revolution in prose. A first-person narrative that gave voice to a plain, principled woman who refused to be defined by class, beauty, or convention. Jane's journey, from orphaned child to independent adult, was raw, psychological, and deeply personal. Victorian readers had never met a heroine like her. When the book was published 2 months later, it was an instant success. Critics were divided. Some called it vulgar, others called it genius. But readers, especially women, embraced Jane's fierce integrity and emotional depth. And Charlotte? She remained anonymous for a while longer, letting her words speak louder than her name. Number 6, Thomas Edison's 35mm. On the 24th of August 1891, Thomas Edison filed a patent for a device that would change entertainment forever, the kinetograph, his motion picture camera. But here's the twist, Edison didn't build it alone. The real engineering muscle came from his assistant, William Kennedy Laurie Dixon, who turned Edison's vision into a working machine. Their goal? To do for the eye what the phonograph had done for the ear, capture and replay life in motion. The kinetograph used 35mm film, perforated to move smoothly through the camera, a format still used today. It recorded short clips, which could be viewed through a kinetoscope, a peephole box that played films for one viewer at a time. Think of it as the Victorian version of binge watching. Edison's patent marked the birth of cinema as technology, not yet as art, but within a few years, those flickering images would leap from arcades to theaters, sparking a global industry. And it all began with a patent, a strip of celluloid, and a team that believed motion could be magic. Number 7, Amelia's Flight. It's 1932 and ambitious Amelia Earhart, filled with inspiration, climbs into her red Lockheed Vega 5B and takes off from Los Angeles, aiming for Newark, New Jersey, a bold, non-stop flight across the United States. It wasn't her first record of the year. Just 3 months earlier, she'd become the first woman to fly solo across the Atlantic. Now, she was out to prove that women could master the skies over their own country, too. Flying at 10,000 feet, Earhart covered 2,477 miles in 19 hours and 5 minutes, averaging 128 miles per hour. Her plane was spotted only twice from the ground, a ghost streaking across the sky. She drank tomato juice, skipped the sandwich, and landed to cheers from a modest crowd who rushed past police to greet her. This was her second attempt. The first, in July, was cut short by a faulty fuel pump, but even then, she'd set a women's speed record. On this successful run, she broke her own time by 10 minutes. Earhart didn't beat the men's record, not yet, but she wasn't chasing it. Her goal was simpler: to show that women pilots belonged in the cockpit, coast to coast. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed your visit to History and Facts. If you did enjoy the video, or find it interesting, we have many more coming. So please like, comment, and subscribe to be notified when we release a new video. See you next time.